Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Good Sunday morning. JLR Investigates. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We are going to talk about the Sebastian Rogers case. Good morning. How's everyone doing? JLR Army, subs, members. Sebastian Strong. We've been covering Sebastian Rogers since the very beginning stages of this terrible tragedy that's still a mystery. Sebastian, right there, we always start out, have you seen me? This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, folks. He is a child, 15 years old, with autism. He's been reported, he's been missing since around the 25th or 26th of February 2024. Reported missing by his mother, Katie Lynn Proudfoot, a.k.a. Katie Lynn Rogers, a.k.a. Katie Lynn Payne, and reported missing by his stepfather, Christopher Andrew Proudfoot. They reported Sebastian Rogers missing around 6:20 a.m., February 26th. Sebastian kind of vanished out of thin air from his Stafford Court home, Hendersonville, Tennessee, Sumner County. They made a call, a three-way call, Katie Proudfoot and Christopher Andrew Proudfoot. They made a call to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to report this young man missing. Until this day, he has still not been found. It's been 4 months. A lot of things centered around this case. We share the latest on JLR Investigates, and Seth Rogers has spoken last night. And we're talking about the biological father, Seth Rogers. And he spoke last night on a YouTube channel called Allegedly with Brittany. And he shares a lot last night. It's a late night conversation. He went on about 11 o'clock last night, and he spilled the beans last night. He shared a lot of things about Katie, blaming Katie for a lot of things centered around Sebastian. Seth talks about the police contacting him in reference to cease and desists that he'd been sending out. He said he sent out 6 cease and desists. He talks about Sebastian. He talks about incidents with Sebastian in reference to California. He talks about some dogs that he had to get rid of. He talks about Sebastian going to his home. He talks about communicating with Sebastian while Seth is at work as a correctional officer at the Davidson County, the sheriff's correctional, their jail there. He talks about Sebastian coming to his house and things about Sebastian and specifics. And we're going to share because it always brings insight and it paints a picture. Seth also says that there was police reports in the past and allegations against him made by Katie that he claims were unfounded. So we're going to share his interview here because it does bring some insight and some perspective about this case. I don't know if you guys listened to this already, but it came out. Some other creators, he's not happy with YouTube creators, by the way. Seth, it seems like he's really primarily mad that people are profiting off his son. It seems like he claims the YouTuber has made $20,000 for Sebastian. He talks about a gun incident too, about, he's admitting that he did ask somebody for a gun. So he did admit that. So that seems like there's some truth to that in a sense. We've always said, when people make allegations, you want to hear two sides of the story. And it seems like he clarifies some things. So we're going to share. He's not too happy here. This is a long conversation, but it's worth listening to. We're going to listen to it together because we've been covering this case and analyzing. Do I think Seth is involved with the disappearance of his son, Sebastian? I think he's part of what led up to Sebastian being missing, but do I think Seth Rogers kidnapped Sebastian or murdered Sebastian? No, I don't think that. And we've never said that on JLR Investigates. However, we do call out the behaviors of both Proudfoot, Chris, Katie, and Seth, and people that were surrounded by Sebastian, right? Seth also admits in this conversation he failed Sebastian. He specifically said he failed Sebastian. Similar to what we've been saying on JLR Investigates. I think we've been spot on with this case. And I'm at the Batcave. I'm just at a different location. I just wanted to put this kind of go this way. A lot of times we go up and down. So I am still at the JLR Batcave. I should get it above me. But we're going to share what's going on with Seth Rogers. He speaks on Allegedly with Brittany. Now, they had a long Well, they spoke for a while. I was at 45, 50 minutes. Their lives are like 3 hours or whatever like that. So in the middle of their live, Seth jumps on. So we're going to share what he has to say.
Hey. Okay, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, listen, I promise you here, no one's going to disrespect.
I'm just going to make this quick because
Okay.
it's 11 o'clock at night. I've been busy all day.
Okay.
And I got an early morning. I've got searchers coming in again next week. Got places to go. Got to get what little sleep I can.
I understand.
I sent out 6 and desist. These people are nasty.
Oh, they are.
And no parent of a missing child should ever have to sit there and listen to the people slander him and be. I've listened to people call my son a sexual offender. I've listened to people call me one.
Yep.
All right. I didn't have any relations with Sebastian's mother until she was way after the age of 18. People need to get off their high horse.
Agreed.
Because I'll tell you right now, I don't have to do anything and God will knock me down. But I send cease and desist to make sure that there is proof in the legal system that I am not connected to these people.
Okay. Yeah.
That way, I'm not sitting there and they can sit there and say whatever they want. Defamation is pretty easy when someone's sitting there for 6 hours on a live panel, letting people talk massive amounts of crap about me and accuse me of everything from putting a nail into Jesus Christ on a cross or pushing the red button for Biden. You know?
Yeah.
You say whatever you want about me, but when you start talking trash about my son, or you're using pictures of my son and stupid little things for click me bait because you guys want to make money, and when I say you all, I mean everybody who's out there. When my YouTube channel comes out, and I sit there and I make people pay for a membership to listen to me give updates, I know that I'm going to receive nothing but negative attention about it. Nothing but negative attention, because Lord knows I'm the child's father. I need to make sure I have flyers. I need more yard signs. I need more materials and more resources, and there's not enough.
Absolutely.
There is not enough until my son comes home. People want to talk about me being at work. That's my personal life. Get over it. You're not going to find out if I'm at work or not. It's none of your business. I've had people infiltrate my home. I've had people sit there and literally lie and have conversations that you just wouldn't have with a person. Not if you actually had a soul. And to have people come in afterwards and call me on a live chat, and I didn't even know I was live, and start asking me questions about stuff that I had no idea what was going on. That's pretty dirty. All right. And then sit there. I get phone calls from Sumner County and from TBI about everything that's going on. Well, they need to stay in their lane. Don't ask me what I have a civil attorney doing for me. All right. They need to be focused on investigating and finding my son. But every time one of these creators open their mouth, and I say that term very loosely because there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are not creators. All they are is, we'll take what this person did and we'll go over it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
and
right.
I'll tell you right now, I have no respect for them. I don't. But that's my personal opinion. And I don't care if somebody has respect for me or not. I'm looking for my son. And I said, I will dance with the devil and show the devil a few moves in order to find my son. And that means I'll do whatever I need to do within the limits of the law, because me going to jail doesn't help my son.
Right.
But I will never stop looking for him. And anybody that wants to be an obstacle in my way, I feel sorry for them. Because karma's a bitch. And God will knock them down.
You're right about that. I want to
All
clear
right.
something up with you while you're here.
And
This
just so you know,
you.
I sent 6 people cease and desist. 6. Not 50.
Okay.
Yeah, 6. Not 50 like T-Rev is talking about. And I'll tell you what, anybody that's out here on a YouTube, whether they're a creator or whatever they want to classify themselves at, if they're literally out there spreading Sebastian's case in a positive light, not a negative light. There's enough negativity in this world. People say I start drama. Don't ask me questions that start drama. I'll give you an honest answer. You may not like the fact that I give an honest answer, and other people may not like the fact that I am brutally honest. But it'll even say in one of those declarations that Katie wrote in my divorce that I tell people the truth. And I literally will sit there and state whether it has anything to do with it. And that always used to piss her off. She hated it when I talked about anything that was going on in the house. She was like, that's a random stranger. I've been like, well, I can't talk to you about it. I'm going to talk to a random person that doesn't know anything and bounce the ideas off of them. Because they might have the answer. God may say, this is how you should answer this gentleman. And give me the answer, because God works in mysterious ways. That crazy person that's asking for change out there on the street corner, that person could have an answer. The first places that I hit were homeless encampments. I've been homeless before. Thank you to my ex-wife for making me homeless. Why didn't I get full custody? I was homeless, living in a vehicle. I praise God every day I got joint custody. Do you think I wanted full custody? Without a doubt. I should have my son living with me right now. But yet I'm still a suspect of my son's disappearance. You guys don't know what kind of effect that has on a person's psyche. To know that I'm getting phone calls from law enforcement about me sending out cease and desist from my attorney, who is doing her job because she wants to make sure that people in the legal system know that these people do not represent me, and therefore they have been sent a cease and desist.
So law enforcement did not want you to send out those letters?
No, law enforcement has called me about it because everybody's up in arms that I sent out a cease and desist. Some of these people live right there in Sumner County. 3 of them do. T-Rev lives there. Kumati lives there. And so does T-Rev's girlfriend. I'm not even going to speak her name. She ain't worth it.
Whoa.
All 3 of them live there. And you know what? T-Rev has never showed up for a search. Oh, he bought hot dogs and buns. Appreciate it, buddy. I didn't appreciate everything else you did, like taking a picture of me while I was in my recliner in my house. Stepping into my sanctuary and violating my sanctuary. Because not only did you violate my sanctuary, but this is also my son's sanctuary. I didn't appreciate that. Klumati showed up for, one search. Only one search. And she acted all nice and friendly. Mm-hmm. Introduced herself by her name, not by her, never once told me that she was a YouTuber. None of that sort of stuff. But I treated her like a regular researcher. Hi, thank you. I appreciate your help. And then she turns around and plays, I want to be number 6 on, CP's list of marriage or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. People want to talk trash about me, but people want to look at me and tell me I'm trash and that I'm despicable because I have, an opinion, an attitude?
No, you don't deserve.
My son is missing.
Exactly.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody who's never been in my position has the right to tell me anything. All right?
Okay. Those
that do have been in this position, I've spoken to. And I get different opinions from other people. And people you need to get rid of this person on your team. No. I get rid of people that I watch their activities, I watch their actions, I listen to their words. And when actions and words don't meet up, something is wrong. I've always been a person that explains to my son that anybody can say anything, but your actions will speak louder to your words. What CP did to my son is horrific. My son cleans his room. Why? Because I use logic with him. Sebastian, you can't find this toy. You know why you can't find this toy? Because I had to come and clean up your room while you were gone. Now, if you clean up your room and you put things back, when you come back in here, you will know where everything is because you've put it in its special spot.
Exactly.
You didn't make him clean it up and go take his things to the trash, right? Make him throw his things away. Yeah.
This might seem kind of selfish, but I'm a parent. I'm on a limited income because I work for the county. All right. I make $50,000 a year. I work 12-hour shifts and I deal with murderers and inmates that I believe can change.
Absolutely.
All right. And I treat them like they're human beings.
Yeah.
Because I expect them to change. Are my sights set too high? Probably. But that's not for me to judge. I'm there to make sure they're safe while they're in jail before they go to prison. All right? I have a badge. I'm supposed to uphold that badge. I don't hide behind that badge. I am the representation of what the badge is supposed to be. Honor, integrity, courage, commitment. Only I can do that. Mm-hmm. I've had inmates, oh, you hide behind the badge. No, I'm the same person when you see me at Walmart in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, grabbing a gallon of milk and orange juice to go home so that my son has milk and orange juice to drink. Pick him up, whatever he wants to cook for dinner or whatever he wants me to cook for breakfast, so on and so forth. I work. When my son is here with me, I work with him so that everything in this house is his. He knows what is his. He has to have room to grow. You cannot sit there and keep somebody trapped in a cube and expect them to grow. That does not work.
Absolutely. 100%.
People want to give me grief for how I raised my son. Well, I am sorry. I didn't think I should take him out on the street corner and pick a fight with somebody and show him what a real beating was. Yes, did I tell my son I was going to bust his butt? Sure did. Did I use that exact verbiage? Probably not. Hello? I'm a first-time parent. It's a never-ending, everyday learn something new.
Yeah.
So I used a video game, which is better than watching an R-rated movie with a bunch of people being shot and having heads cut off or, things like that. No, I took a video game that we have played and I put the blood mode on so you can actually see it, because before there was none. I turned it off. He doesn't need to see all that. But yet I get criticized, and most of these people that criticize me don't even have kids.
Yeah, I honestly don't hold that.
I have never once said I was perfect, nor will I ever say I am perfect. Sebastian, my son, may think that I walk on water, and I never want to lose that. I never want to lose that, because that means I'm his hero.
That's right. You're right. And you don't deserve
Have I failed my son? Oh, yes. I am my worst critique ever. None of these people out here saying anything can make me feel worse than I already am, until they sit there and start talking about my son being a sexual offender or any of that. My son was with me all last on the Christmas break. Faith wasn't here. I saw that rumor going out there. Sebastian was with me before Faith even got here. So people need to shut that rumor up.
We
all right?
Trust me, we have fought diligently to make sure that that's not true.
That's missing.
That's right. And that should have never come out of anybody's mouth. And believe you me, here and in a lot of places I know, Seth, it won't be spoken, and we shut it down. That there's nothing to even.
But there are YouTubers out here that promote that stuff. They got cease and desist because they're nasty and vile things.
Well, they have an agenda, right? They're playing up to Christopher Proudfoot. They wanted him on panel because they're getting the views from him being there because he acts like such an ass.
Yep.
We could all act like an ass. And that there is nobody in this world that can't act like one. But what it comes down to is that he's not looking for Sebastian. His family's not looking for Sebastian. His own mother, Sebastian's own mother, is not looking for Sebastian.
It's insane. It's craziness. To get in a camper and go 3.5 hours away from your house with your child missing.
Well, come on. It's 3 hours and 37 minutes.
Thank you. How foolish of me. You're exactly right. That was pathetic.
Let's break this down, because Lord help us, we may or may not get stuck behind a semi on Route 40.
Yeah.
You know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid just because nothing is ever finite. Everything is infinite. There's no, it takes 3 minutes to do this. That's bullshit. You ask anybody. There's too many holes in their stories.
Oh, it's just incredible. It's
I
incredible.
know where I was at, and it really upsets me that they haven't cleared me. They have literally pulled over a year of my phone records. They have taken all the electronics. Yeah, I want my son to have his stuff back. I want my son to be found and walk into his room and it be set up just like it was when he went missing, so that he can start readjusting back to life.
That's right.
Okay? And if nobody has an autistic child, then they don't know what I'm talking about. But my son, when he came home, he would walk into his room and everything is left just like he picked it up and put it.
Yep. That's his comfort.
That's his sanctuary within our sanctuary. And what's funny is when he's at my house, he spends more time in the recliner than he does in his own room. Because he'd rather be out here in the living room where I am than in his room like he is at his mom and Chris's. He stays in his room there.
Yeah.
Here, he lives in my shitty 2-bedroom with a garage, 900 square foot place that I pay rent for. That my rent has increased since I moved here in October of 2020. My rent has gone from $700 to over $1,000, and I don't move because he is used to this.
Yeah.
And I want to say something on your behalf about that real quick, okay? Because I'm tired of everybody saying everything you say has something to do with money. No, what he's saying is he's willing to rip himself off by not finding something cheaper because he wants his child to have a home that he is safe and I have a child on the spectrum too, Seth. So I get what.
So you know how it is.
Yes.
Change is constant, but if you can limit one little change,
yes,
then it does them so well.
Yes, and then when he comes home to you, he's home where everything's where you left it. For I understand, yes, more than you know, and I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I tell you, it grips my heart.
If I get my son back, I don't care. I'll go through even more. But I want my son. I want him found. I want him returned home to me. And all these people out here, I hope like hell you never have a child and have to go through anything resembling what I'm going through. Not even for 30 minutes. Been over 100 days. For me, it's been even longer because it's been 7 more days.
So sorry, Seth. So sorry.
And it's just there's evil people out there. There's people that are negative naysayers, ones that just love to start drama. Well, you ask questions and I answer questions, and the questions you ask are meant to start drama. And I can't help that I answer questions, but if I don't answer the questions, I can't win for losing. And I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just trying to find my son.
Seth, I just want to tell you one thing. I am with you 100%. And I know that you love your son. I know that you are 100% into finding your son. I'm not, from the very start, that's how I felt. And I am not going to change my mind.
Mm-hmm. I need to ask you this because I want to clear this up. It's been going around that you are asking for money for interviews. Can you clarify if that is true or not?
Nobody's giving me nothing for interviews.
There you go.
Wow.
I didn't even go to CrimeCon because I was out searching that day. couldn't see myself going and being around people instead of not being out trying to find my kid.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah, there's probably been some really good resources for me there.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
But you know that most of those people that were there, except for some of the FBI agents, I have their phone numbers. I could call them
Yeah.
because they've already reached out to me. I just didn't see the point of being there.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I'll tell you, you weren't even there, and people were already losing their mind that you were. So it probably is a good thing that you didn't go. It's ridiculous. This is what YouTube is. It's nuts. And when you have grievance, oh, it makes me so mad.
For the longest, people have been drilling this into my head for, a couple months now. YouTube is social media. But when I opened up my first YouTube account back in the 2000s, it was to listen to music, people.
Yeah.
It was just watch music videos, do it yourself videos. There wasn't all this stuff that's on it now. So yeah, I never really classified this as social media. To me, MySpace, that was social media. A lot better than Facebook, because at least you had to know how to code. And I had a MySpace. I've had Facebook too, but it's just horrible.
Yes.
It's been years. It's been years since I had a Facebook. I used my Facebook account to save videos of Sebastian and pictures.
Yeah.
Because I had hard drives fried on me and I lost pictures. And I was like, I need someplace digital. You know what? I can use my Facebook profile and just make it private and nobody can see it.
Yeah.
And I saved pictures there. I've got pictures of me and Sebastian at the zoo. Videos of me and Sebastian at the zoo watching the piranhas eat because that's what he wanted to do. So we had to make sure that we were one of the first ones into the zoo. We had to make sure that we had gotten all the way over to the fish area in there before they fed them, because they fed them at the same time, every morning. And we were there to watch all of 15 seconds of them devour this huge chunk of meat. And he was like, that was awesome. And I couldn't even get my phone up, which was one of these old flip phones, to record it fast enough before they devoured it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you want some pictures of you next to the piranha? He was like, sure.
He loved the piranhas. Bless his little heart.
And then off to watch the snakes, off to sit there and look at all the other animals,
Oh, my goodness.
He's an animal lover. He's always been. Yes, cats are his favorite. We had a bearded dragon when we were in California. Goose was her name. She was beautiful.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
when I wasn't allowed to have her, she died of scale rot. So did the next snake that Katie bought him.
So sorry.
All right?
So he liked reptiles, huh? That was his, and then cats, just animals in general.
Animals in general. But when we lived because we lived in Spring Valley, California for years.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had 2 dogs. And we had Goose. And my ex threw a fit because I got rid of the dogs. Well, Sebastian was taking one for a walk, and the dog took off after another dog and dragged my son down the sidewalk.
Oh, my goodness.
No, you're not going to hurt my kid.
Right?
I had 2 of them, all right? And I wanted to train them to be able to work with Sebastian. He's autistic, but when that happened, couldn't do it. It was like, and I gave them away to good homes. I didn't sell them or anything like that. I literally turned around and gave one to the guy that lived across from us, who had another place to live down in Mexico. And he took him out and took Abel out to a range. And Kane, I gave to one of the ladies at his school because she had just put her dog to sleep because her dog was old.
Oh.
And I was like, I tell you what, I've got a pity. He was Stafford Razor Cross. Gray, beautiful, beautiful pups. All right. I'm like, They're a little over a year old. They're still puppies. And I was like, you can have him. And I gave 50 pounds of dog food to her and gave her, cane. Like, here you go. And Sebastian didn't even realize the dogs were gone for 2 weeks. 2 weeks that they were gone. And then I finally took the doggy door out of the hallway. And he walked up and he was like, why'd you do that, Dad? The dogs are going to come eat my toys. And I looked at him and I was like, son, you had one job, and that was to feed and water the dogs in the morning before I took you to school. When was the last time you fed and watered the dogs? And he was like, oh, I guess I should feed and water them. I was like, son, I already gave them away to new homes. And he was like, oh. I was like, don't worry, I gave them to good homes, though. And he was like, okay. He was younger then.
Yeah.
He wasn't attached to him like I was.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you this because I really want to clear this up too, because this is another one that's nagging my soul. There's certain creators that keep saying this over and over, that Sebastian was going to be made to live with you because he was being punished. Can you please clarify that? Because I don't believe that's to be the case at all.
I'll clear it up with this comment. While I was homeless in California, going through a divorce, and finally got the restraining order and everything cleared up in the court system, where everything that somebody had stated about me was proven false.
There you go.
And there was nothing could be proven that anything she said was legitimate at all, but everything that I stated was legitimate. Clear down to police reports. For my son to tell me that he'd rather live in the car with me than in that house with his mom, that should tell you.
Yeah.
My son wasn't being punished to come live here with me. He thought he was being punished with online school. But he needed to get into therapy, and he needed to have that year of just being online school. And what people don't realize is that he'd have been going to online school, which I still have him registered for and enrolled. I'm just hoping that I have him found and back to me before school starts. But he was going to school with his godbrother. Because his godparents live up here in Clarksville too, which is why I live up here.
I have a question. Someone that wanted me to ask you this too. The day that they called you, Chris called you to tell you that. Right here, Jane. I see it, babe. Jane says, "Can Seth please explain the day that Chris called? He called you and told you Sebastian was missing, and when you arrived at the house, what Katie did with her phone to you."
She had the picture of Sebastian at Costco, shoved it in my face, and was like, "Look, see, he was having a good day."
What?
Like, what does that mean to me? What does that mean to me?
Crazy, Seth.
And Seth, does she not talk to you ever by herself? Because I noticed that Chris says he kept in contact with you. Would Katie not co-parent with you one-on-one?
Sometimes it was difficult. Sometimes we could have, sometimes co-parenting is hard. It is hard, but you will do whatever you can to make sure that your child is okay.
Oh, absolutely.
But I refused to continue certain punishments from that house at my house because he didn't do it at my house.
I don't blame you.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. I teach co-parenting classes. You are right about that. And I did try to correct that. I heard people saying that if the kid gets in trouble at one house, the punishment should spill over to the other. And I said that is
I believe that only depends on what he did wrong.
I agree with that.
Well,
if he had sat there and hit a teacher or something, yeah, I don't approve of putting your hands on anybody, especially a female. Oh, hell no. So me and him are going to have a nice long talk for that hour that we get here. And I'm going to ask him what he thinks his punishment should be. But that's only going to be after I find out what his punishment has been at his mom and Chris's.
And that would be a specific example of where both parents would have to be called in for that particular type of infraction, right?
Right, where it would be
But
both.
if you, like if your bedtime's 10 o'clock, kid stays up to 10:30, 10:45, and you say, okay, well, you're grounded this weekend. That grounding should not happen at the co-parent's house. I've seen situations where one parent was actually weaponizing that, so that every time the kid went over to the dad's house, he had to be grounded for the dad's weekend. So
Yeah, no, that's my weekend with him, not
There you
your
go.
weekend to control him.
that's exactly correct. Absolutely.
And I told Katie a long time ago, when you divorce me, you lose all the protection that I give you. As in, you're no longer my spouse. And yeah, this may sound harsh or rude or whatever, but that also means I don't have to treat you like I would my loved one.
Yep.
Now that's
Because
true.
you violated your vows. You have stepped upon these vows that you took in front of somebody that are supposed to be in front of God, and you have trashed these vows because you don't want to work with me anymore. Got it. Well, I'll work with you when it comes to Sebastian, but don't expect the same treatment from me that you got when I was married.
I
People
don't
think I'm
understand.
not over her. No, I still have good memories. I have a lot of good memories of me, Sebastian, and his mom. All right, I never focused on the negative ones. I know them. I lived through it. But I always been the one that goes for the positive memories. The times that we were fishing on the dock in South Georgia, while we're sitting there and I've got a net over Sebastian's rocker because Sebastian's an infant and we're out there fishing at night with him.
Oh.
Okay? I still remember things that she probably doesn't like to remember. Like, I had a pickup truck. I was the only one that was working. We only had one vehicle. And it started raining. And I told her, listen, it's raining outside. We have a kid. You're going to have to ride in the back. You can't drive the stick shift. If you could drive a stick, I'll ride in the back. But she couldn't drive a standard.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't take Sebastian home and come back and pick you up. There's nobody at the house. I'm not leaving him. I mean, let's be, common sense here. One of us has to ride in the back. Well, right after that, she got online and she was like, I found us a new truck. All right, that's cool. I still miss my little Toyota. I remember taking her to the DMV to get her driver's license for the first time.
Oh.
Okay? I didn't groom this lady.
I get so tired of that. Yeah, that's
This lady she did not have the opportunities that children should have because of her father and the mistakes that her mother had made and the mistakes that her father made. She didn't get the opportunity. But as her husband, I was damned she's going to get these opportunities. I helped her buy her first car. Sprayed my wrist, changing the brake pads on her first vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
People will make trash up because they're
Absolutely.
trashy people.
You're right about that. You're right
And then
about
they're
that.
going to get butthurt when they get a cease and desist because they're talking garbage and they're making me look bad, which I don't need anybody to help me do that. Thank you.
Well, I think calling somebody a predator,
Yes.
that's more than talking shit. That's a crime.
Yeah.
They can't do that,
Yeah.
So when I thought about that, I said, well, maybe that explains the cease and desist letters. I wouldn't let anybody say things like that.
When there's a YouTubers out there claiming that they made $20,000 off of my son,
Oh my God.
Okay, that's gross.
That is gross.
they got a cease and desist too. Because you're nasty. You're using the fact that
Oh,
my son's
goodness.
not here and telling people you made $20,000. You're pretty nasty.
When
a YouTube that is literally here in Tennessee sits there and asks me about handguns, and I give him my personal opinion of what he should be looking for because of the performance, and he wants to talk about how much money he has, and I said, well, while you're at it, if you're making that much, why don't you buy two and give me one? No, the pistol don't cost $2,000. They're $2,500. I've been saving up for 4 months before my son went missing to get it. Do you think I have that money now? No. I spent that money in doing other things.
Right.
Dude, did I want it? I sure did. That was going to be a birthday present from me to me. Now I just want to find my son.
I get it.
I don't give a fuck about present. I give a fuck about being able to hold my baby boy.
Hold on a minute. I want to clarify that right now. Are you saying that the person bragged to you about making that money?
Yes.
Oh
That
my
is-
God.
that's-
I can't
that's
with that.
crazy.
I'm sorry, y'all. That right there is awful.
It's like,
That is
you are
horrific.
such a piece of shit. And to think that I come onto your thing and I think that you have my back and I tell you to be safe while you're out there doing what you're doing in other states, because I've been taken advantage of by YouTubers, content creators, more like copy clickers, because they just want to take interviews and dissect them. Oh, did you see how his eyeball twitched? Oh, he keeps his hand up above. I've got nerve damage in my right arm and I can't even make it into an MRI. I've been waiting for over a month, close to 2, for an MRI. All right? Yeah. There's days that I cannot pull myself out of my bed.
I can tell. I mean, this has taken a toll.
Yes, it's too much.
Would you be able to just sort of stay away from the whole YouTube stuff for a week or so, just to kind of give?
I did. That's why I deleted my account. I couldn't even watch any music or anything. Thank God I'm old enough that I still have CDs.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. It's not good for anybody. It's not, especially, listen, I as a creator myself, I've said this before you've been on my panel, and I'll say it again. When it comes to cases with missing children or tragedies or anything like that, this place is a cesspool
It
for
is.
families. It's horrible. What they're doing to you, what's happened to many others, it's absolutely gross.
You know what's? It is gross, but you know what? When you get people that are paying people to continue to do it, where is the? I mean, really, you can't blame them. People want to pay for the drama. They're like, this is better than, cable TV.
It's sad.
And
but
it's
so
like,
true.
the only difference is this is real life. This isn't Law and Order. This is literally somebody's life.
Well, Seth, I mean, on mainstream TV, the reality TV shows, people flock to that, right?
I don't have TV. I had Netflix. That's about it. Now I don't even have that. I actually haven't had a TV subscription. I stopped watching TV when my doctor told me you need to stop watching the news.
Yeah,
The news is affecting your health.
absolutely.
And that was back in 2011.
Yes. And
So I was like, I tell you what, that's $120 that can be put towards something else.
absolutely agree. But the reality TV where they take a group of people who don't know each other, put them in a house together, and then they add a bunch of alcohol, and then they film and watch as these people just go through their days fighting and being ugly. There's a certain element of our population today that what they like, and I think, my opinion, you get a lot of that with some of these channels where there's drama all the time. And that one particular channel that, you know, she's got it for Christopher Proudfoot, that they do really like, you know, enjoy that type of banner. And
Oh, it's awful.
it is. And the only thing that you can do, Seth, is to insulate yourself from it and just not watch it. Don't go there. Don't listen. You're not going to control these people. We sat, Brittany can tell you, we sat and watched for about 2 years as Chris Watt's wife, Shanann Rudbeck, her parents hired attorneys. They sent cease and desist to YouTube. They tried to sue YouTube, individual creators, just trying to make people stop with the nonsense, and they could never get it to happen. And
the drama will never stop because there's always people that are craving the drama.
Mm-hmm.
But as creators, you guys can limit it because you can. You can limit the drama. That stuff's not allowed here. If you keep it up, you can go somewhere else because you won't be allowed here. I mean, that's just the way it is. Somebody was wanting to know about me leaving my son at home. When he was here, my son was responsible. Have you ever known, okay, my son was never an eloper. He never eloped. He never ran out, ran away, no nothing. Besides the fact that my neighbors all around know my son and think that he's the wonderfulest child they've ever met.
Oh.
Okay?
He does seem like a little darling.
My neighbor has stated that she has watched him come out this door and stand in the driveway, and she was out here. And he was like, "Hi, how you doing?" She's like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And he was like, "My dad will be home in about 7 minutes."
Aw.
And she's like, "How do you know?" And he was like, "Because I know what time it is. My dad's never late when he's coming home from work. He'll be home in about 7 minutes." And she's like, "Oh." He was like, "I come home. He's already got coffee made and everything." And it's like, "How'd you know I was coming home early?" He was like, "I just knew you were coming home, Dad."
So sweet.
I made that promise to him. "I'm going to work, son. I'll call you later on tonight." Because I'd call him from the jail. Because I can't have my cell phone in there. All right. So I would call his cell phone from the jail. And I would see how he was doing. He never had a reason to leave. I hate this word. I really hate this word. But the kid had plenty of food and snacks in this house for him. All right. And when I say snacks, I'm talking about he's got yogurt cups, fruit cups, everything in the fridge, carrots, celery, peanut butter. Boy knows how to cook. Does he, Hot Pockets, burritos, you name it, in the freezer, because he knows how to use the microwave. And then if I was here, he would cook on the stove. Because that's what I was teaching him to do. I was teaching him to be independent for himself.
Wow.
You have to let them grow if they're ever going to be able to fly on their own.
How, can I just ask for clarification, and listen, I'm not judging you at all, because I think you love your son, and there's no doubt in my mind. I don't question it. But did you have to work overnight, or was it during the day?
I worked overnight.
Okay, and he did fine. That's good. I mean, listen, I have a child on the spectrum, and something I can tell y'all about him. Sebastian was 15. They're perfectionists. Was Sebastian a perfectionist? Did you have to do things the right way and, very punctual? I'm just curious.
Not really following the question, but Sebastian did what Sebastian knew he needed to do.
Right. So usually when I don't want to say that because it's not fair, but in the case
I'll tell you what, I'd come home and his bed ain't made. Did he make his bed like he was supposed to? No. I come home and be like, "Sebastian, did you brush your teeth last night before you went to bed?" I'm going to take that as a no. Go brush your teeth.
It's a typical teenager.
Yeah, he's a teenager. He's going to rebel. Welcome to being, a parent of a teenager. certain things you have to do, certain things you just look over, certain things you have to remind them of. All right?
Well,
it was just that. I was happy if
Mhm.
he made sure that his room was maintained.
There you go.
And you know what? He knew how to wash his own laundry.
Oh, that's
You know,
good.
when he was having accidents, all right, he didn't get in trouble for having the accident. He got in trouble for not cleaning it up.
There you go.
Guaranteed, this is when he was like 11 and 12, because we were getting to the point where he didn't have accidents at my house. He didn't need to wear a pull-up. He didn't have to, you know. He was here for 2 weeks at one point in time that he had an accident. He didn't make it to the toilet in time. Now he was sitting there and just peed himself like, oh, I peed myself. No, he didn't make it there in time, and he peed himself trying to get his little thing out so that he could sit there and pee.
See,
All right?
okay.
And I looked at him and I was like, okay, you're not in trouble for that, but what you do need to do is you now need to take a shower, and you need to go ahead and start a little laundry when you're done. Because you got it on you. You got pee on you, son. It's urine. You don't want to smell like that. It's not good for your skin. Hot shower, clean yourself up, start a load of laundry. If he had an accident in the bed, because he was also getting to that age as well, the last time he had an accident, I don't think he peed himself.
Mhm. Well, I want to tell
Because
you.
he is a boy. And I was like, hey, your clothes are wet. So I need you to go ahead and get up. He was like, but Dad, I didn't pee myself. I was like, son, I'm not asking you what happened. I'm telling you, I need you to get up. I need you to strip your bed. We need to go ahead and get that stuff ready for the washer. And I need you to just go take a shower.
Wow. They talked a little bit more. That was a YouTube channel called Allegedly with Brittany. He didn't talk much further. One thing I noticed interesting in that is he did confirm that he worked at nights. We're talking about a child who is, he just turned 15 before this tragedy happened. But did he leave Sebastian, and obviously it's no secret that Sebastian had difficulties, right? Autism and things, and he just at the end he shared a wild example about, it's kind of, people were saying in the thing that was triggering what he said at the end. But did he leave Sebastian alone in the house while Seth went and worked? Who was Sebastian? Because he obviously came back. He was talking about, did you brush your teeth and things like that. Did he leave Sebastian home overnight? What's your thoughts on that? So, he said a lot of things in this interview that we haven't heard prior. He does do a lot of blaming on Katie. He said that Katie's not out there searching for Sebastian. Seth also said that he's going to start searching next week. And that's what we do. We analyze what he says. Apparently, he doesn't like people. He can't have it both ways because he continues to go on YouTube and share and spill the beans. He also shared a lot of personal business about Katie, so I don't know how Katie's going to feel it, or Team Katie, because there's other creators out there and people that support Katie and Chris. They're going to respond to this. They're going to make videos. And then Seth's going to complain about the drama, but he's the one that puts the information out there on YouTube. He complains about YouTubers, but then goes on YouTube to say things that he might not should have said. I like them all speaking personally. I have no problem with any of them speaking. We just analyze what they say on JLR Investigates and keep people informed of what's going on and try to get the family dynamics of what went on in the house. Notice I got the Sebastian Strong. I wear this. We want to know the family dynamics. And every time they do come on, all of them, they kind of reveal a little bit more information. Here and there, they spill a little bit more tea. Throw shade on one another. But for Seth to be angry with YouTubers for saying things, I don't get it, because he's the one that puts himself out there. He is a public figure at this point. He's already crossed that line where, he's not a private person at this point. And he once again went on YouTube and shared. And I like it when he goes on, but Just makes me wonder. Just makes me wonder about things. And a lot of times when he has conversations, sometimes then he just starts going into another topic. Like while he's talking about a topic, he just goes off and talks about other things that sometimes doesn't necessarily make sense. He also said he's a suspect. He also said he's a suspect, and authorities consider him a suspect. He said that word. So does this mean that this is a criminal investigation? If you're suspect of something, that means it would be criminal, right? If this, as authorities have really not said whether this is a criminal case or not. I mean, they know, but the police are not, they don't have to tell us the truth. There's no law saying we have to tell the police the truth if we get interrogated or, we speak to a law enforcement, because if you lie to law enforcement, that's a crime. But there's no crime for law enforcement to lie to the public. Is he a suspect? He says he is. What's going on here? He said he's going to, he's going to go out there and try to find Sebastian. I'll keep you informed on that. That was a good interview. You can go to her channel. I think her name was Allegedly with Brittany. I did somewhere like, it was like a 3-hour live. I think Seth came on like an hour and something into it. We're covering this case. Keep Sebastian's name out there. Have you seen me? Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I'm fascinated with what they all say, because I do analyze it. Seth gets mad that people analyze, but we're talking about a missing child. And a lot of people have invested their time, energy, and resources into finding this guy. And I think the parents, all three of them, are relevant. There's people out there that say, what does this have to do with Sebastian? It's irrelevant. It's nothing to do, the parents have nothing to do with Sebastian. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All of them. All of them. Paints a picture. So we'll keep you informed on JLR Investigates. Let me know what you think in the comment. We got a lot of people in the chat today. Share this video out, and I'll read your comments. Appreciate people for the support, your comments, and members. We are Sebastian's Army. We are Sebastian's Army. Sebastian strong. See that? We are Sebastian's Army. And no cease and desist our way on JLR Investigates will stop us from speaking about Sebastian. No cease and desist, if it comes our way, will stop us from reviewing what all the people and players and participants in this case talk about. We're going to continue to put Sebastian's name out there, and we're not going to stop until Sebastian is found. Let me know what you think. JLR Investigates. You guys have a wonderful Sunday. Be blessed. Let's pray that we can get some answers about Sebastian. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon. We cover true crime 24/7, 365 on JLR Investigates. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe. God bless.